Just to give you an idea of Australia, we've got 23 million plus population, millions of kangaroos. They're great for business. You love them. You know, if you're in the country, you put all the feed beside the road so they'll come out and hit the cars. And then you eat them, of course. You eat 16.7 million cars in the car park. Well, 12.7 million cars, 16.7 million cars in the car park. Two major insurers, IAG and Suncorp, Prominent Group. Between those two insurers, they've got between 80 and 85% of the market. So you think State Farm dominates here? Try and come to Australia or New Zealand, as you hear from Red, so it's difficult. 4,000 shops in decline. So we've got 4,000 shops, we've got a population of 23 million, we've got a car park of 12.7 million cars. So you equate that to the UK, which we found out this morning. They've got 4,000 shops in the UK, 70 million people. So we've got too many shops. We've got too many shops here. Rex has got too many shops in New Zealand. So all the guys who think their shop should go can leave the room now. Nobody's going to leave, of course they can. Okay. By the way, can we just have a show of hands? How many body repair shops are there in the room here? Fantastic. Where are the other 36,000? I want to know. You should be here. Okay. Any insurers in the room? There's two sneaked in over there. That's good. Nice to have you guys. Any parts procurement suppliers, software suppliers in the room? Quite a few. That's great. Fantastic. Okay. Did you miss anybody there? No. Okay. George Avery. Is George in the room? I missed the opportunity this morning. I was walking by the CIC event, and Jeff Handler's sitting at the table, and George Avery is kneeling at the table. I wanted to get a photograph of George on his knees. Okay? But we did get a photograph taken with George last night, Rex and myself, because after today he may not want his photograph taken with us, but we got one last night. Now George is a good friend, Mike's a good guy. So State Farm and Parts Trader. In my opinion, two words to describe it. Not good. You decide. Okay, you decide. What I should put up there is show me the money. Everybody see the movie, Show Me the Money? That's what it's all about. You talk about quality, customer service, all these sorts of things. It's all about the money. Believe me. In 35 years in the industry, in Australia, insurers have been trying to get a slice of the parts for 35 years, probably before that. And they're still trying. Right now in Australia, there's one of the major insurers is trying to do a deal with an aftermarket parts supplier for direct supply of parts to their shops and their preferred shops. So it's still going on. So Parts Trader may come to Australia yet. It may do that. So these are the comments, and you've probably seen these from George Avery, why they're looking at the Parts Trader. And of course, if you're an insurer, it all makes sense, and that's fine. That's great. We've all seen those comments. And what I was trying to find in all this paperwork for 6 months is why it's good for the repairer. I still haven't got an answer yet. I'm still looking for it. The only thing I came across was an interview with Fender Vendor at NACE from George, and he said, we'll total 600,000 vehicles this year. That's 60% of all repairs in Australia, by the way, 600,000. And but 120,000 will be retained by the customer or handed back to the customer, which he presumes, and I presume, will be repaired in some description. So what he says is if the parts prices can come down, then you'll hand those 120,000 cars back to you as a repairer because you need the practice to make less money. Does that sound like a good deal? I mean, that's the way I read it, but that's okay. So insurers had bad publicity. So this was that magazine I showed you there in 2005 with IAG, who are the main company behind Parts Trader in New Zealand, and they're tied in with us in Australia. This was on a separate issue. So this is how we handle it. If we can negotiate with the insurance companies and get a good win-win situation, that's great. If we can't, we get out in the streets with the placards and away we go. So that was 2005. And here we are, you know, they carry coffins with RIP, choice, and all this sort of thing. This one here happened to be outside the AGM 2 months later of the company. So all the shareholders had to walk past all these banners and everything else from the streets. So that does work. So insurers don't like bad publicity. They don't like a loss of market share, because you as a repairer can really influence where they insure with next time. Okay? Drop in share price, if it's a demutualized company, which IAG became, they don't like that either. So all of those things happened after this protest against IAG in Australia. That bad publicity, the big loss of market share, even though they've got some of it back now, and certainly a drop in the share price. And they're still trying to get back to where they were in 2005. But prior to that, they were considered the insurer of choice by the repairers. Does that sound familiar? We're still protesting in Australia. This was 2 months ago, because we have these smart repair shops in Australia where one insurer's got 22 shops doing 100,000 repairs for themselves, under $2,000. The good news for the consumer is the car is turned around the same day. It's a 3-hour repair, it's on the same day. And their argument is, and you can't argue with this, is that why should a 3-hour repair take 5 days? So that's what they're doing in those shops. But of course the guys are protesting against it. As you can see, them picketing all these different centres. And one of the companies they're protesting against is AMI. Lucky you're with Amy. This is on the TV and everything else. So the association, the guys got together and decided they'd produce their own publication. So you see this? You think you're lucky with Amy, you think again. And the lady in there looks like it's from Halloween last night. But we can get away with that in Australia. Maybe you can't here. And Michael Quinn, is Michael in the room? He's a good friend of mine. I just chose Michael because he said this. It is only for select service shops, not for the entire industry. Well, it was only for IEG shops in New Zealand too. On the Parts Trader website, and Rob's in the room here, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I got this from your website. Our long-term goal is to make Parts Trader available to the entire US for this repair industry, which is fine. That's great. That's good. Just so you know. And there it is on the website again. That's all the media information on the website. So as far as I'm concerned, these are the possible implications for you if this goes ahead. And believe me, it isn't just State Farm. It isn't just Parts Trader. It's every insurer. And it's every parts procurement supplier. Because if State Farm go ahead and they're successful with what they do you think the other insurers are going to sit there and have an edge in the marketplace? No, they're not. They're going to have their own, maybe not with Parts Trader because they've probably got an agreement with them for a certain length of time. There'll be other people in the room there. So that's the problem you face. So we've got lots of profit, cent and dollars. The percent may be the same, but the dollars are a lot less because the prices are going to come down. Lots of relationships with suppliers. Shop in New Zealand I spoke to 2 weeks ago had 30 suppliers in 2005. They've now got 300. And no relationships with those suppliers at all. That's a small shop. More use of recycled parts. The more recycled parts you use, the more you've got to work with them and fix them, what have you, because what you see on the screen maybe isn't what you actually receive in the shop. So somebody's got to compensate you for that. So, you know, the insurance company, the aftermarket, the recycled parts supply, you work it out. Many more accounts to handle. I just said 300 suppliers. You know, they've got to get credit references for those, all different payment terms, so it goes on. Direct supply, payments via insurers. They're still trying to get direct supply, the insurance company, and then just give you a percentage in Australia. Involvement by insurers and paint supply. Wouldn't it be good for State Farm to say, I mean, how many repairs have they got a year? Say they've got 3 million repairs a year. To go to a paint company and say, Mr. Paint Company, you've got 3 million repairs out there. How would you like them to all be painted in your paint? And to do a deal with the paint company. And then your margin on the paint's going to come down. So that's a problem. It's not just parts, it could be everything else in the supply chain. As far as I'm concerned, less profit means less investment. So that you don't need so many paint companies. You don't need so many part suppliers at the end of the day. You don't need too many magazines. You don't need too many deals. It just goes on. Less investment, less industry participants. The numbers have got to come down, we know that. But we want the good shops to survive. We want the bad shops to go away. And hopefully, if this takes up, it doesn't keep the bad shops in business. Like a hailstorm keeps the bad shops in business, doesn't it? And lots of control of your business. And how much control you've got of your business right now. You decide where you order the parts from, and you work on your margins. If you're a big shop, surely should get a better margin than a small shop. So they're the sort of things that we're looking at. So as a shop owner, to you shop owners out there, your responsibility is to your family, which are your shareholders obviously, your business, your employees, and the customers, and to make a profit. That sounds like State Farm. They want to make a profit. You want to make a profit, so you've got to try and balance that up somewhere along the line. And hopefully some dialogue will go on. You know, as you'll hear from Rex, what they experienced in New Zealand was not enough time to negotiate on. So hopefully you've got some time to negotiate. And I know from what Michael Quinn was telling me this morning that There are changes being made by parts trade, and we're listening to the market, they're changing things around, and it's different in New Zealand, we hear that, which is good, which is good. Where to from here? And we'll get that in a moment after we do the other presentation.